Every year, wild boars cause an estimated $150 million in agricultural damage in Georgia. This invasive species is considered one of the most destructive worldwide. Their impact extends beyond farmland, as they also disrupt ecosystems and threaten native animals, including species of turtles. The scale of destruction has led to their classification as an ecological crisis. Controlling these animals requires careful planning. Their intelligence and heightened sense of smell make them difficult to approach, and hunters must use the wind and natural cover to their advantage. Patience and strategy become the most effective tools in managing them. In the early hours of the morning, wild boars begin to emerge from their hiding places. Some encounters involve smaller groups moving quietly through the brush, while others involve large, powerful individuals that pose a greater risk to crops and the surrounding environment. Quick and precise action is required to prevent them from escaping and continuing their destruction. Elevated positions provide a clear tactical advantage, allowing specialists to wait for the right moment. Once a boar steps into the open, a well-timed shot can neutralize the threat instantly, ensuring farmland remains protected. Each animal removed from the fields means thousands of plants spared from destruction. As the day progresses, the challenges increase. Reduced visibility in dense vegetation turns the effort into a test of reflexes and caution. Wild boars, when startled, can charge with immense force, creating dangerous situations at very close range. Precise and controlled responses are essential to prevent harm and to protect agricultural land. In some cases, entire groups of wild boars move together like an invading force, trampling crops in their path. Strategic positioning and coordinated efforts are necessary to counter them effectively. When these coordinated responses succeed, large portions of farmland are preserved, and the ecological balance is partially restored. This work is not simply a matter of sport, it is an ongoing mission to reduce the spread of a destructive species. Across regions such as Oklahoma, the problem is even more pronounced. At dawn, traces of their nightly activity are revealed across fields. With a population estimated at more than 1.5 million, they represent not just a nuisance but a massive ecological and economic threat. Wild boars consume crops, destroy soil structure, and convert fertile farmland into devastated zones. Each year, the losses amount to tens of millions of dollars. Addressing this challenge requires continuous monitoring, coordinated strategies, and a balance between protecting agriculture and safeguarding ecosystems. The effort to control these animals is ultimately about protecting livelihoods, restoring stability to affected environments, and ensuring that farmland remains productive for the future. A massive black hawk swept across the sky at full speed. At the same time, 2 sharp gunshots echoed through the air, striking their target with precision. A wild boar collapsed heavily onto the red soil, reminding once again how the cycle of life and destruction often begins and ends in the same place. The work continued. Another large, aggressive boar emerged from the cornfield, causing severe damage to crops. With its thick hide resembling natural armor, the animal resisted the first impact. Yet, further shots eventually drove it back into the dense stalks, though not without chaos. The confrontation was far from over. Across the field, preparations were already in place. A hunter waited at a predicted exit point. As expected, the wild boar burst out in desperation, running across the dirt path. A single, well-placed shot brought it down mid-charge, ending its destructive rampage and allowing the land to rest in peace once more. The struggle did not end there. In another area, within the heavy weeds bordering the forest, the cracking sound of bones and branches revealed movement. Another hunter was ready, and when the boar emerged, a sudden shot dropped the animal instantly. But the danger escalated. Another boar charged forward, seemingly defending its territory. With reflexes driven by instinct, another shot stopped the animal in its tracks. Elsewhere, the sound of dogs guided the team deeper into the thickets. There, an injured boar lay hidden, breathing heavily. The hunters called the dogs back for safety, before a final, merciful shot ended the suffering of the animal. A single bullet meant an entire season's harvest could be protected from further damage. The tension remained high. Wild boars suddenly appeared from hiding, charging with immense speed and strength. Each encounter required rapid response, as survival instincts clashed with nature's force. These animals, with their high reproductive rates and ability to devastate crops, farmland, and even local ecosystems, have become one of the most dangerous invasive threats in many regions. Farmers and rural communities are often left vulnerable, with both livelihoods and livestock at risk. Because of this, organized hunting teams step in, not for sport, but for population control and land protection. Fierce battles against wild boars continue, often in harsh environments such as the snow-covered mountains of Eastern Europe. In one such location, hunters position themselves carefully in the freezing cold, predicting where boars might emerge. When the first animal appeared from the trees and stepped into the open, a decisive shot brought it down immediately. This marked the beginning of another long and difficult day of population control. Tracking continued across the snowy ground. From a distance, new silhouettes appeared among the dry bushes. With strategic positioning, hunters cut off escape routes, firing controlled shots that ended the threat before it could spread further. In these extreme conditions, hunting in the snow becomes not only a struggle against the animals themselves, but also a contest against nature. Each encounter reflects the balance between protecting agriculture, maintaining ecological stability, and confronting one of the most resilient and destructive wild species in the world. Every shot fired in these expeditions is not only a matter of skill, but also a measure to maintain balance in the ecosystem. From snow-covered mountains to dense forests, the scenes unfold with precision and discipline as hunters take their pre-assigned positions. After a short wait, movement is detected in the reeds. A marksman, acting swiftly, fires a single precise shot that prevents the wild boar from escaping. Another immediate threat to the land is brought under control. Elsewhere in the forest, a tense encounter unfolds as a massive wild boar suddenly charges forward. The animal's speed and strength make it a dangerous adversary, yet at the critical moment, a well-placed shot stops the attack. Without such action, the outcome could have been far more unpredictable. In another hidden position, a wild boar attempts to flee. The rifleman reacts instantly, and the animal falls behind the cover of trees. Almost immediately, a second boar rushes out, but one more decisive shot ensures that it too is stopped in its tracks. These situations demonstrate how quickly hunters must act to contain herds that can cause immense damage. In some European regions, wild boars are responsible for significant agricultural losses, measured in millions of dollars each year, along with spreading diseases that threaten both wildlife and livestock. Controlling their numbers is therefore not only a tradition but also a necessity. At dawn, teams move into the fields. Vehicles transport them across rugged terrain, where they scatter into carefully chosen positions. Within minutes, movement appears in the distance. As the silhouette of a boar crosses the field, shots are fired in rapid succession. The animal falls instantly, marking the first successful intervention of the day. In another chase, a boar runs frantically across open ground. Hunters anticipate its path, closing in before it can escape. A precise, well-timed shot brings it down, eliminating a threat that could have caused unpredictable consequences if left unchecked. Moments later, in the same field, a larger group of boars is engaged. Coordinated maneuvers surround the animals, and a wave of shots follows. Within minutes, the herd is brought under control, restoring temporary calm to the area. Meanwhile, deeper in the forest, another team sets up an ambush. A boar emerges in search of food, unaware of the trap. A single bullet drops it instantly. Elsewhere, another hunter waits patiently until the sudden crack of branches reveals movement. A boar bursts from the undergrowth at high speed. The first shot misses, but the second lands accurately, stopping the animal immediately. Even when these creatures believe they have found shelter in thick vegetation, precise marksmanship ensures they cannot continue their disruption. Outside the forest, the sound of tracking dogs signals yet another presence, guiding hunters toward their next encounter.